Hey guys, welcome to my new video. So recently I designed and developed this website, and a major challenge that I had given myself was to make the website speed as fast as possible. Now I did all the optimization, did few experiments, and this is the result. Now let's see how fast this is in Pingdom. I'll show you the URL, tools.pingdom.com. Let me copy this website's URL. Let me paste it here. Start test. Now if you don't know what Pingdom is, it is basically a website where you can check how fast your website is, and along with that it gives you a lot of other metrics like how much space the images are taking, how much space your script, your JavaScript, that is our CSS and HTML is taking, and you can see that and accordingly optimize your website. Now we have got the result, and as you can see, it loaded in just 368 milliseconds. It's like it's like less than half a second. And again, if you want to do your own test, you can take the link, and it's www.findyourexpression.com and do your own check. Now and as you can see, the majority of my website is images. It takes around 65.3% of my website. So as you might have guessed, I can even further optimize it. But I thought, well, if I decrease the image size from where it is at right now, it will degrade the user experience and the user interface. So I decided not to do that. And this is a complete website. It's not just a basic template or anything. It's a complete website with a server and a database. And as you can see, it's a complete website. It works with multiple pages, with dynamic content and all the stuff. Now I will show you how I did this. I'll show you all the optimization, and if you follow that, you can implement the same speed in your website too. The first tip that I have for you is use responsive images. And no, when I say responsive images, I don't mean resize your images height and width according to the viewport. No. So what responsive images means is that serving the appropriate image to the appropriate browser and appropriate device. So what you will do in responsive images is that you will provide browser with various images of various size, and the browser will decide which images are the best to use. Now how would you do that? You have to give browser specific instruction on how to do that. Now there are processes like art direction, density switching, and resolution switching through which you can do that. Now I will be making a separate video on how to do those things, so make sure you look out for that. And since you serve the browser also takes in things like the internet speed, if it's using Wi-Fi or is it using just the mobile data. So according to the speed also, the browser will decide which images is the best in the given situation, due to which the best possible images for that scenario will be loaded, due to which your website will load faster. And the number 2 point that I have for you guys is, if you have been in development for a very long time, it's a no-brainer for you, but it is to always reuse code. Now when there are parts in your website that will be reused in various places like headers, navigation and footer that is available in every page, you shouldn't be copying and pasting the code. Instead, what you should do is, and you can do that in every programming language, whether it be PHP, Node, Python or Ruby, what you should do is at first write all the code in a specific file, and then import that and reference to that file in every other page you want in your website. That way it will only be loaded once and wouldn't need to load after in every other page, due to which your website speed will definitely improve. The number 3 point I have for you guys is use as less HTTP request as possible. You see, the thing about HTTP request is that your browser, your website has to fetch data from somewhere else. It may be from your own server or maybe from a server in a remote location. Now it takes time for data to come back, right? Due to which it affects the website loading speed, due to which you should minimize your website loading speed as much as possible. So try to avoid using third-party libraries, because that's a HTTP request for the most part. And even like talking about images, if it's possible in your design, try to keep as minimum images as possible, because images are also because getting images is also a HTTP request to the server, due to which it increases the loading speed. But but instead of using images, you can use a lot of different cool animations, graphics that you can nowadays create with just CSS. Speaking of not using HTTP request, here we have our point number 4. Try not to use Bootstrap and JQuery. Now, if you have just begun, you have just started, you don't consider yourself an expert developer, now then at that point it's okay. I will also go as far as to say you should use JQuery and Bootstrap, because that will help you get started. But when you are pushing to be an expert developer, you should use these two things. So first thing is, because if you talk about JQuery, you can do almost everything in JavaScript. Everything that JQuery provides can be done in JavaScript, except for maybe few things. So for the most part, you wouldn't need JQuery. So that will also, like, initially it might be a little difficult, but on the long run, you will also be a better developer, and it will make your work easier. And plus, as we earlier discussed, importing JQuery is making a HTTP request to the JQuery library, which increases the loading speed. Same thing is true for Bootstrap. We also have to import that in our code, which increases the loading speed. Likewise, I think though using Bootstrap is good for initial learning, Bootstrap isn't really flexible. It is really difficult to change a lot of source code. So I don't think you should be using Bootstrap. Now, you might be saying, if I don't get to use Bootstrap, it will be hard for me. I can use the classes, the colors. What should I do? Now, here's where you do the point number 5, that is to use Sass or other CSS Pre Compilers. Now, if you use something like Sass, that's almost like creating your own Bootstrap with your own colors, your own fonts, your own styles, with your own classes, and you just have to do a little bit of preparation before starting your project, and it will make your work really, really easy. In the end, it is way easier than using Bootstrap. It will make your work really, really easy, and it will be very, very much flexible, and you can change everything in your website without having to deal with a lot of complex stuffs. And number 6, and I guess it is a no-brainer, use a credible hosting provider. Like, there are a lot of hosting providers all over the world, and not all of them are good for you. You gotta find the best one for you, and the one that will work best with your website. Now, personally speaking, my favorite web hosting provider is Heroku, and I majorly use it for Node and React application. But when talking about PHP or Laravel website, I think even these mainstream providers like HostGator, Namecheap, GoDaddy do a pretty good job. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you follow all these rules and implement them properly in your website, then you will surely improve your website's loading speed. Now, let me give you a bonus tip. One thing I would suggest you is make sure you learn Sass. Now, you might say it does the same thing as CSS, which is true, but it's just that it makes your work so easy and so efficient that it makes you better as a developer. It gives you more time to experiment with lot different things. It makes your workflow really, really easy. And one more thing, a lot of companies, when they are looking for a front-end or full stack developer, they want to make sure that developer has Sass or other pre-compiler skills. So it's a really important skills you need to have, and make sure you don't feel lazy to learn that. So that's it for today, guys. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a good day, guys. Thank you.